Hello, welcome to Marketing 716, Marketing Management. This is Chapter 6. In Chapter 6, let's talk about the marketing program in Chapter 6, okay? In this chapter we're going to cover some key issues and challenges in product strategy, and also key issues in pricing strategy, okay? Pricing strategy. Then describe supply chain strategy and strategic supply chain issues. That's the channel of distribution strategy. And explain the components of integrated marketing communication or integrated marketing strategy. And then on the strategic implementation of personal selling and sales management. Okay, that's our focus of this chapter. Okay? Let's have an overview of the contents here. Okay? Marketing program. Basically, a marketing program is a strategic combination of marketing mix. You already know what marketing mix variables are, right? Marketing mix, price, product, distribution, and promotion. Distribution, also known as the channel of distribution, right? And oftentimes the product received the great emphasis, right? But in fact, some companies are centered around the product. A great product makes a great company, right? Like Apple, right? And Tesla, right? But some other companies are actually focusing on not just they still focus on the product, but they're more focused on other aspects like promotions and others. Coca-Cola, everyone knows what Coca-Cola tastes like, and so there's not many new flavors coming out. Right? They have tried some new flavors, some succeeded, some failed, and it's basically just a Coke, right? So, but their emphasis, that company, is more on marketing, sales, and promotions, and not necessarily on the product, right? But for many new companies, new offerings, of course, they focus on product, okay? But either way, they want to fulfill the needs and wants of customers, either consumers or businesses, right? So a marketing program is basically a physical or tangible, and it's a service, it's the intangible part, and symbolic, that's branding, or brands, perceptual, everything together to satisfy needs and wants of a customer, a consumer or business. Okay, that's what the marketing program entails. Okay, physical, service, and symbolic to satisfy the needs and wants. Okay, let's talk about the product strategy. A product strategy. Okay. A company offers product oftentimes in a portfolio, a group of product lines, right? The customer is basically the product is either offered to consumers or to business. So therefore, there is the B2C marketing versus B2B marketing, okay? There's some concepts here you need to know. Make sure you understand and remember, and this can be in your test, the next test coming up, right? In exam 4, okay? You have the product line. What is a product line? That's the closely related products offered by a company, called a product line, okay? A product mix is the multiple product lines together, total group of products offered by a company. Variety refers to the number of product lines a company has. Okay? Assortment is the depth of product line. Yeah, within the same product line, how many different type or variety of products are being offered in the same line, right? How deep it is, right? Variety is how many lines you have. Companies like General Electric or like Procter & Gamble, General Mills, they will have a high variety of product lines. And each one has a very deep assortment. And they offer not just one product, but multiple product. They offer many product lines. Okay, the mix is huge. That's your product portfolio of company. Okay, there are lots of benefits for a company to offer a product portfolio. Okay? Lots of benefits. Yeah. The first one is economies of scale. Right? For larger companies that offering a lot of product lines, they can achieve economy of scale, meaning they can actually produce in the products in such a large quantity and variety that their per unit cost is significantly reduced. Therefore, they can achieve the scale economy. Right? So economies of scale is one of the great benefit. Okay. Also, with the product portfolio, you can achieve package and product uniformity. Package and product uniformity. Okay. Consumers can locate company products more quickly. They know, oh, this is by say this company A, and the other one is also by company A. Since they already have trust in the company A on one thing, they can easily transfer that, transfer or translate that trust to another line, another product. Yeah. Also, standardization is another benefit. Standardize. Yeah. They can share some component parts between different product lines. Different product lines probably use the same components. They can share that. They can standardize that. Therefore, achieve savings in acquisition and production. Okay? Standardization. Also, sales and distribution efficiency. They can achieve highly efficient sales and distribution because they're selling to the similar retailers, wholesalers. Distributors are favorable to lines versus individual products. Okay? If you make a certain product, for example, you want to introduce your product to a supermarket chain. You say, oh, we only have this one product. It's probably hard for them to accept you, right? Where gonna they put your stuff, right? So if, and on the other hand, if this company is a big company offering many product lines, right? The distributor already, have some of your product lines on their shelves. They can easily add another one to the shelf. Okay. Also, equivalent quality beliefs. Just what I said. People have trust or belief in the quality or the craftsmanship of the product. You can easily have the similar trust, and belief about your other products. Okay, that's benefits of product portfolio. Okay. Now let's talk about the service products. This United States and most of the developed countries, have service industry amounting to more than 50%, maybe even 60, 70% of total GDP. So service economy is very important, far surpassing manufacturing and other sectors. Right? But there are some challenges of service products. If your company is offering a service, that's your product, right? There are challenges of service products. First one is intangibility. Service is intangible. You can touch, feel and touch, say, a can of, let's say, a can of soda, or even a cell phone, right, or television set, right? But how do you grasp, or grasp or approach, say, legal service, or haircut service, or airline services? It's hard to grasp. It's intangible. Service has this intangibility quality, have intangibility, nature. Now, there is a simultaneous production and consumption. What do you mean by that? Yeah. If you're making sodas, beverages, right? You can make them today, or next week, or last week, and then have them sold, a week from now, by shipping them to elsewhere, right? You can produce it, and then after a while, sell it, and then after a while, consumers will eat that, drink that, or consume that. Right? The consumption, production are separate. Right? In services, consumption and productions are happening at the same time. Okay? If you have a haircut, you can have a haircut. You and the service provider and the service process are taking place at the same time, same location almost, right? So you cannot, the productions, consumption are happening at the same time. Perishability is perishable. Goods you make, soda or cell phones and things like that, all the tangible goods, you can put them in storage, you can put them in inventory, you can sell them next day, next week, next quarter. Okay? They're not perishable. They're still there. Right? But services, like hotel services, hospitality services, if your room is not sold tonight, by midnight tonight, you can now sell today's hotel service again tomorrow, because tomorrow is another product, another day of service, right? Once that passenger airplane takes off, right, the unsold seats on that airplane is done. It's gone. You can now sell another ticket, from Atlanta to New York City, on that Delta airline, flight. Okay? It's gone. It's gone. It's perishable. Okay. Heterogeneity. Heterogeneity is another challenge of service products. You first offer service product because you have frontline service workers interacting with your customers, right? So the service level, service quality are not the same, right? The person involved, maybe your service provider may be tired, or he may have some family issues, his wife may have said something bad to him, or her husband may do something bad, whatever. The person could become moody, could become irrational, right? And because the service quality received by the customer may be totally different, even from person to person in the same shift, same location. Okay, so because of the inherent nature, the differences in people's interaction with each other, service provider versus service recipient, the service is heterogeneous, just not even, uneven. Right? We can expect to have the Coca-Cola, different batches produced, or they call this bottling company. They are bottled at different places, right? They all have the same flavor, same taste, but services are not the same. That's heterogeneity. Okay, and there's a client-based relationship. The relationship is built upon interactions with a certain client, certain customers. That's also different from goods product. Okay, so these are the challenges of service products: intangibility, simultaneity, perishability, heterogeneity, and client-based relationship. Okay, intangibility. difficult to evaluate quality, as I said, right? And selling a promise, basically, you're selling a promise, is hard to characterize. You tell them, hey, you're gonna have a good haircut, you're gonna enjoy a great flight. That's the promise you sell, right? And until they take the service, they don't know. Right? It's hard to characterize. Right? Service prices are difficult to set and justify. So set the price and justify, right? And you don't possess a service. You don't possess a service. It's an interaction. Right? You cannot just buy one and put in your car or put in your possession. Okay? And digital is transforming some service industries that we can tell, right? We are witnessing, okay? The intangibility, simultaneous, as I said, right? Customer possessions must be present, okay? Must be present to possess for the service to consume, okay? Other customers can impact the experience. Other customers, okay? If another person, another customer is at the hair salon and is having a haircut also, and you look at the other person, you see that hairdo is not that great, and this person is probably have a bad hair day, and that is going to, true or false, is going to affect you, impact your experience. Okay? Service provider quality experience is critical, right? So provider quality and experience is critical in this case. Okay? Lowering the amount of contact service labs, that's what the service provider are trying to do. Okay? And also digital, again, is an option for some services. Many services will be replaced by digital AI technologies, as we see. Yeah. Perishability, as I just said, service cannot be inventoried or cannot be stored. Okay? Unused service capacity is gone. Your service is not utilized, it's gone. You cannot storage. Okay? Service production is time and place sensitive. It's sensitive to time and it's sensitive to place. Okay? It's hard to balance supply demand in high demand. When service demand is high, you cannot easily just balance the supply and demand. It's hard to satisfy. Okay? Whereas, for goods, for other tangible products, you can easily just pull something from the inventory, from the warehouse, or from another store, and then you can ease the demand, right? You provide enough supply. Service is not that easy to do. Okay? Facilities and equipment sit idle when demand is low. And demand is low. Whereas tangible product, when demand is low, you can still produce at same speed and put them in storage. Well, service cannot be stored, so then if demand is low, nobody coming here to take their airplane, flight, and then your capacity, your seat in the airplane, the seat in your hair salon, they're going to sit idle and wasted. Okay, the perishability. Heterogeneity, as I said, vary across service provider. Okay, it's complicating consistent quality delivery. It's hard to do that, quality delivery. And there are limited opportunities to standardize services because you can customize even your service provider. You cannot make them unified, and also let alone offering or expecting the customers to be consistent. There'll be all kinds of customers making all kinds of demands. Either high demand, low demand. Hard to serve, or easy going. All kinds of people you can imagine, right? It's customizable, okay, and can dramatically increase the overall cost because of this heterogeneity. Okay? Client-based relationship, as I said, the goal here of the service provider is to maintain satisfied customer, satisfied clientele, and so they will generate repeat business, which is crucial to your company. Okay? You should focus on customers' use of services, right? The use of services because it's experience-based. Is to understand how to make improvement and provide value to your client, okay? Because you want to build a good client-based relationship with your relationship here. Also, developing new products. Okay? New products. Businesses are always, on the lookout for new product ideas, and they want to develop, invent, come up with a new product, right? There are different types of new products. Some are just new to the world products. New to the world products. Before Steve Jobs' Apple made that iPod, there was no such thing as iPod. Nobody knew that we could store it, 1,000 songs in that little tiny device that's portable. You can carry everywhere, and you can listen to your music, favorite music, thousands of them over and over. We didn't have that capability. But that capability was new, the product offering was new, and that invention was new to the world. It's new to the world, the product. Okay? And that kind of product is called what we call disruptive innovations. Disruptive innovations. Oftentimes it's good, it's superb, right? You want that, right? It's a radical and innovative thinking of the entrepreneurs, like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. Okay? That's the one type of new product. Then there's also the new product lines. It's a diversification into a closely related product lines. You have this line of product, right? You want into a new line that's kind of similar but related to the old one. This is not as risky as true innovation, okay? Because you already know the previous product line, the old product line, is well established. Maybe it's already selling well, okay? And then there's also the product line extension. You already have a product line. You just want to extend that, right? Adding new styles, adding new models, right? Adding new features, right? Or adding food item, adding new flavors. Right? I remember this, I think it's a Frito-Lay. Frito-Lay, they have their potato chips. They want to add new flavors. They actually had crowd sourcing, asking consumers to come up with the flavors for the new chips. Right? I remember one of the three finalists of new flavor of chips. One of them is the sriracha, not sriracha, sorry. What is it called? Sriracha. Yeah. Some of you may have it or may heard about it. It's called sriracha hot pepper sauce. Yeah. Because that product is hot pepper sauce. It's created by a guy, Chinese Vietnamese American guy. Yeah, the guy is a Chinese in ethnic Chinese, but he grew up, did business, did well in Vietnam, and then he migrated to the United States. He established his factory to make sriracha hot sauce, right? And sell that, nationwide, now worldwide. Very successful company. It's an interesting product. Just the hot sauce, okay? And I read an article about the interview with him, for this guy, sriracha hot pepper sauce. And if you go into his company headquarters, in the front lobby, there's a huge painting, huge photograph. You know what the photograph is about? It's about the NASA astronauts in space station. And in space station, they actually have a little bottle of the sriracha hot pepper sauce in there, right? It turned out to be that he found this owner found about this found his product in NASA in the space station, because actually the astronaut was trying to bring, because in space with no gravity, you can kind of tend to lose your appetite or lose your sense of taste. So they brought this sriracha hot pepper sauce to try to stimulate their appetite. So that's why they brought this sauce. And this hot pepper sauce bottle has this unique red body and with green tip, plastic tip opening. And so it's easily recognizable. And this guy saw that and put that picture up there. So that was an interesting story. Very good. Right? Anyway, so different flavors. Oh, then the Frito-Lay, I think they had this campaign to ask customers to come up with the flavors. One of them, the sriracha flavored potato chips. I don't know, actually. I don't remember exactly which one won the competition, or in the end, which one was chosen. You can check it out. Okay. All right. So that's the product line extensions, and then there's improve existing product. We only hear that the companies say, a company in the advertisement will say, "Oh, this is new and improved." New and improved. Yeah, they're actually making improvement on existing product. Okay. Repositioning. That's another thing you do. Reposition. Right? Targeting existing products and new markets. There was a story about chocolate milk. Chocolate milk, right? If you guys, you are MBA students. Many of you probably adults with children. You have young kids, you know that you probably ask your kids, or they would love to drink chocolate milk. Right? In this country, at least traditionally, we consider chocolate milk as a children's drink. It's tasty, it offers nutrition. Kids love it. They don't just want to drink plain milk. They want chocolate milk that tastes better. Right? And then this company, I think it's Nestle, they want to offer this to adults. They want to expand the market for this chocolate milk. So they want to reposition the product. The original positioning of the product is that it is perceived, it really is too, it's perceived to be a drink, a nutritional drink for the young, for kids. Right? They want to reposition that to the drink for adults. So they came up with this new positioning strategy that is reposition their chocolate milk as an adult milk, adult nutritional supplement as well. So I don't know, have data to show if this repositioning strategy is successful or not. I haven't really checked in the grocery stores, but you guys may have checked. You can see, but at least that's the attempt by the company to reposition the same product, to a different market, from youth market, kids market, to adult. Okay. And also cost reduction is another thing. That's something you need to do in developing new products. Okay. That's developing new product. New product development by businesses normally goes through this process. Okay, it's a 5-stage process. First one, idea generation. You generate idea about your new product. Right, get the ideas. You must solicit ideas from others, from your competitors, from people voluntarily submitting their ideas, or from your R&D people. Right? You exhaust your sources. Okay? Then you come up with a bunch of ideas. You want to screen those ideas, screen the ideas, and evaluate those ideas. Yeah? You match them, with your own capabilities. Some ideas might be superb, wonderful ideas, but you're not capable of making them, making it a reality. You match that ideas, evaluate them, and match them with your capabilities, and then you develop it, right? Design a product, right? You finalize your product design, right? Then you have a prototype, then you can test market it, right? Test market to determine its potential market performance. Okay? Once it's successful, you can commercialize, right? Launch product with a marketing plan to stimulate awareness and acceptance. Formally launch the new product. Okay? That's a new product development process from idea generation, screening, evaluation, development, testing, and commercialization. Okay, quiz time. Man. You can pause for a minute or two. Okay. Question. Offering a large portfolio of products can create a number of important benefits. Which of the following is not one of those benefits? Economy of scale, package uniformity, sales and distribution complexity, and standardization. You're offering large portfolio products, create a number of important benefits. Which one of this, the four, is not? You think about it for a minute, pause. You have your answer, you can pause, you can continue. Okay, the answer is C, sales distribution complexity. Okay, so the benefits of this offering large portfolios include economy of scale, standardization, equivalent quality beliefs, package uniformity, and sales distribution efficiency. So the sales and distribution complexity is not. Okay. All right, this is a kind of a little bit tricky question. Okay. Now let's talk about the pricing strategy. Your pricing strategy. Okay. Yeah. Pricing, basically, your revenue, company revenue equals price, right? Price or price times quantity sold. Okay. But largely it's about the price, right? You increase price, you increase revenue. Right? You must increase price or quantity sold to impact revenue. Okay, you increase price, you increase revenue. You increase quantity sold, that's you beef up your selling activities, you increase your revenue, right? But rarely can both price and quantity be done simultaneously, the increase simultaneously. Why? Ask yourself this question. Why is that? Why can't you increase your price and quantity at the same time? Normally cannot do that. Yes, it is a part of your basic economy, right? If you increase your price, your quantity sold tend to go down. The quantity if price is dropped, the quantity may go up. This is supply and demand, basic economic principle. So it's hard for you to increase price and increase your sales. It would be wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful thing to have, right? But it could happen, but rarely. Okay. Also, pricing is easy and quick to modify. Okay. Easy, okay, you just change your price, same price you charge, right? Easy and quick to modify. There's a term called surge pricing. Surge pricing. Okay? This is a reality in tourism, entertainment, and travel. Okay? So this is showing the dynamic pricing. That there is a huge demand. Yeah, this huge surge in demand, they charge higher price. Yeah, surge pricing. It's obvious. One time I was at Atlanta airport. Yeah, I got an airplane at the airport, I want to get an Uber home, and I will Uber home. Normally, this would cost me about let's see, about $40-50 to get an Uber home from airport to my home, okay? In the suburb. But that night, I know there's several airplanes arriving at the same time. A lot of people just rushing out, gushing out of the terminal, waiting to get the Uber or Lyft. And the price gets how much? I think I remember the price went shot up to like $200. From normally $40-50 to $200. It was shocking, right? Everyone was looking at it, in disbelief. That's a surge pricing done by Uber and Lyft, the headquarters. Right? They saw this tremendous increase in demand. They charge higher. There's still people who were willing to pay higher price. Right? And then I just waited. I could just sit there and stand there with at a platform for 10 minutes. I want to see what happened to the price, right? It turned out I wait there. I just put it with my phone for 15-20 minutes. Guess what? The price dropped. People either pay the price or whatever. They left. People left. Demand dropped, and the price dropped down to probably $70-80. Still a little higher than normal, but not like $200 level. So surge pricing in practice. Okay, so next time you're in the airport, you see this exorbitant Lyft or Uber price. Wait a few minutes, it's going to change. Okay, pricing strategy, pricing objectives. Businesses establish their pricing strategy to achieve certain objectives, right? One of the objectives is profit oriented, right? They set the price, they maximize price, versus competition, often targeting a return, a profit return, a good return, right? Or the objective could be volume, sales volume, yeah, is volume oriented, drive the turnover. They want to, just get volume, right? Get greater dollars or unit sales volume, yeah, to achieve certain quota or to achieve market share. And we have the market share below. Market demand, charge what the market will bear. This is exactly what I meant by just what is shown in my example earlier about Uber Lyft pricing. Right? Whatever the market will be able to bear, people are willing to pay, they can charge that. They charge price, a higher price. Okay? Market share, increase or maintain market share. Okay? You set your price to increase or maintain your market share. Okay? Or cash flow. You can price for cash flow. You recover cash ASAP. If you're short on cash, your cash flow is in trouble, it's a good idea to set your price to bring in lots of cash. Okay? Another one is competitive matching. Match your competitor's price or beat your competitor price. Okay? In competition, fierce competition. Prestige pricing. That you set your high price so high to create a high status for your product, giving people the impression this is a luxury, prestigious item. Okay? Or status quo, maintain the current prices, maintain the status quo. Okay? There's different pricing objectives. Price elasticity, is a relative impact on demand given specific price increase or decrease. Okay? It's a relative impact on demand, right? Price elasticity is higher, could be higher, or sensitivity is higher when there's a greater availability of substitute products. Right? If substitute is available, the price is more elastic, more sensitive. Okay. If there's a higher total expenditure, the price sensitivity elasticity should be higher. Right? If there is a noticeable price difference, the price sensitivity could be higher. Right? If there is easy to compare prices, easy price comparisons, price is very elastic. Another Uber, Lyft example I give you is when I want to use Uber or Lyft service at the airport or anywhere, I would open both my Uber and Lyft. I have two. I have both of them on my cell phone. I opened both of them and look at the price. Let me see compare the price. Right? It's easy for you to compare price, right? Just when you order airplane tickets or vacation package, vacation, price, you open several web browser and look at the different offerings, yeah? And you make quick comparison, and they know. Some of the software, they actually ask you permission to track your activity on the same phone. They know that you are looking at Uber probably knows that you're looking at Lyft and vice versa. Guess what? If they know that you're comparing prices, it's very likely they're going to offer you a better price. Right? Because of that, the price is very elastic, highly sensitive and elastic. Price elasticity. Okay? Price inelasticity. Price could be inelastic, or not subject to change a lot as much, right? We call the price sensitivity or price insensitivity or inelasticity is lower when there's a lack of substitutes. There's no substitutes. If there's no Lyft or an Uber, but just one company or no taxi, they're not going to be that elastic. They're going to all over the price for you. They have a monopoly. If there are lots of substitutes, then there's elasticity. So there's a lack of substitutes. Price tend to be inelastic. The real perceived as necessities, right? If something you have to buy, right? Food, gasoline, hey, no matter the price, you have to fill up your tank. So then it's inelastic, more inelastic, and it's necessity. Complementary product tend to leads you to inelastic because you have to buy. Right? Perceived product benefits, right? And also situational influences and product differentiation could all change your price to make your price inelastic. Okay? All right, I want you to go home. When you study, read chapters, make sure on every one of these items here, and I want you to think through, okay? This is going to be your test, your next text. I believe it's your test 4, okay? Test 4. And just make sure you understand when you read the book, okay? Pricing service product, service pricing, okay? Service quality is hard to detect before buying. You never know. You don't know what kind of haircut, what kind of service you get when you walk into that barber shop. Okay? And cost pricing of service are hard to determine, the cost versus pricing. Customers may not know the service process. You don't know what it's going to be like, right? You just go there, right? You don't know how your hair is cut exactly. Okay? Brand names may not be well established. Yeah, may not be branded. Okay? Customers can perform the service. Sometimes customers can perform service. So that's service product pricing. Okay? There are some base pricing strategies and you need to know, you need to be aware of. Okay, there's some also terminologies, very important terminology for you as a business major, marketing major, business major, MBAs, graduate. One is called the price skimming price or price skimming. It's kind of like skimming milk. You set price high to skim the profits early in the product launch. Get the money, as much money as you can, skim the mill, skimming price, just set price high. Okay. Later on, as competitors are catching up, you want to use a price penetration price. You set your price low to maximize sales exposure and market share. Okay? You set your price low to gain market share. That's called penetration pricing. Okay? Freemium pricing. That's a free trial period. Offer free trial, and the goal is to secure renewal, to come back of a customer to buy your product after the free trial period is over, called freemium pricing. There's prestige pricing that we just talked earlier, high price to promote exclusivity and luxury. There's one strategy called the value-based pricing, or everyday low pricing. That's Sam Walton's everyday low pricing strategy. Competitive matching. Electronics retailers may do this to capture sales, okay? Matching the price of others, their competitors. Another one called non-price strategy. Non-price strategy emphasize other variables, not the price. We don't compete on price. We compete on other things, right? Basically, also product, service, promotion. You focus on the experience, as a way of marketing your product. Okay, these are the base pricing strategies. And once your base price is set, the base price could be adjusted, are often adjusted. Okay? There are different ways to adjust adjusting the base price. One is discounting, temporary price reductions, discount, 10% discount, 10% off. Or you can use a reference pricing, like original $10, now $6. Yeah, that's the reference pricing. You can use a price lining compared to your competitor's price. Yeah, compared to your or odd pricing, or even odd pricing. Prices rarely set at a wrong number, wrong numbers, wrong dollars. It's like $1.99, $29.99. That's odd pricing. Okay? Price bundling, like Hulu and Disney's, the Disney Plus, bundle together, bundle two items together at one price. Okay? Tiered pricing, basic to the premium packages, have tiered pricing. Okay? These are the adjustments made to the basic price. Okay? Next, the strategy for adjusting prices in business market. Now, in business markets, they use something similar but different. One is called treat discount. They call it treat discount. Reduced price for intermediaries, such as the wholesalers. Okay? Discounts or allowances, right? That's cash, quantity purchased, seasonal, or allowance for advertisement or others. Right? Given allowance. There's the slot allowance, right? That is charging a fee for putting your product on their shelves. Okay? There's a per unit user price, subscription services offering reduced price for larger employee usage, okay? Like Zoom and Office are doing that. Okay? Geographic pricing, they take into consideration transportation costs, distance, and zone pricing to come up with the final price. Transfer pricing. When one unit of our company sell to another unit, that's called transfer price. Transfer within the company. But oftentimes across state borders, national borders, transfer pricing. Okay? There are a lot of issues with the gray trade and also with tax evasion with transfer pricing. Okay? Barter or counter trade. In international trade, they use products, not cash, for payments or partial payment in cash and good. basically just barter trade, goods for goods. Yeah, goods for good. Yeah. No cash involved. Okay. Of course, it's not convenient, but some countries, some people may just they have to do it. They have no other ways. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about supply chain strategy. In section 4, let's talk about supply chain strategy. Okay. Supply chain management. In supply chain management, there are some issues here or processes involved. One is operations management, the production to final delivery with the system-wide coordination, transform inputs into goods and services, operations management, procurement management, creating value through sourcing, purchasing, and recycling, includes materials and information. Okay. Logistics, managing your logistics, efficient and effective flow of materials, products, and information from point of origin to consumption. Okay. And then there's marketing channel management. Channel members that direct the flow of products are being managed, right? So these are the major topics or major things, items to be carried out under supply chain management. Okay. Supply chain. Right? So supply chain basically the connection and integration of all members of the marketing channel, from manufacturers to wholesalers, distributors, retailers, to consumers. Yeah, your business consumers or individual consumers. Right? That's the supply chain. Right? Investments in and committed to connectivity, real-time information. You manage your supply chain, you should have real-time information between manufacturers, wholesaler, distributor, and retailer. Right? You form a community. Right? You work together as on the chain, working together to achieve a common mission or vision. Right? Collaborations needed for supply chain ahead of their own. So that's the key issues in supply chain management. Okay? Marketing channel functions, right? Marketing channels, contact efficiency, right? Excuse me. Minimization of contacts in the product exchange process. Okay? Exchange process. Walmart stores are 31% of Del Monte's sales. Del Monte's sales, so 31% of that is through the Walmart stores. Guess what? They actually exchange information, contacts, the automatic order placement, and the delivery, shipment, through the whole, EDI process. Yeah, the electronic data interchange process. The next 9 largest Walmart customers account for 30%, another 30%. Okay? Omnichannel. Yeah, basically omnichannel brings together communication, products, service, and supply chain management, payment, options, customer service, all together seamlessly to the customers. That's why it's called omnichannel. Okay, omnichannel. This could be your test. Okay, what is omnichannel? Okay. And also, there are different type of distribution in the marketing channel structure. Okay, in marketing channels, there are different type of structure, physical distribution of goods from manufacturer to the consumers that businesses can choose, can use, can utilize. Right. One is called the exclusive distribution. Exclusive distribution. There's a restrictive coverage for prestige goods with a single, well-defined target market. What kind of products are sold through exclusive distribution? Rolex Rolex watches, Rolexes, yeah. Maybe Rolls-Royce cars, yeah. You have very, very prestigious goods, single, well-defined target market. They're super rich, and very exclusive distribution. Only authorized stores can get it. Yeah, only in major cities. Yeah, we don't have one. I don't think we have a Rolls-Royce dealer in Aiken, not in Aiken, South Carolina. Right. The next level is a selective distribution, to giving several merchants outlets the right to sell a defined geographical region. Most of car dealers are like this in the selective distribution, right? Several outlets, several dealerships in this city or in this area. Okay. Then there's an intensive distribution. The intensive distribution, the product is available in a maximum number of outlets everywhere, right? Like most of the convenience goods or the sodas, right? Beverages, candies, candy bars, convenience products, wherever you go, supermarkets, department stores, convenience stores, gas stations, you name it. Whenever vending machines, wherever there is a place to sell those convenience goods, you can find them. That's an intensive distribution. So different level of distributions. Okay. Power in the supply chain. Different members in the supply chain have different powers. Some are powerful, some are less powerful. Guess who's the most powerful member of the supply chain between Walmart and these intermediaries and the suppliers all the way to the manufacturer? You can guess, right? It is Walmart because this is a behemoth. It's huge. This is the 800-pound gorilla. Right? Everybody listens to Walmart. Whatever Walmart wants, demands, you just have to comply. Right? I remember I read somewhere, I heard from somebody, I forgot a long time ago, about how Walmart treats their suppliers. Everyone, if you're a manufacturer of certain goods, you want to be able to sell your product through Walmart, right? Once you're in Walmart supply chain, guess what? You can sell tons of them, your product, anywhere in the world, right? So everyone dreams of becoming a supplier to Walmart. And so now Walmart has the power. They have the market power. They have the huge retailing power, right? The story I was told that is that the suppliers, from worldwide suppliers, would come to Walmart, their headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas, right, to meet with the purchasing manager of Walmart. Yeah, where would the meeting take place? The meeting is not in the high-end luxury corporate office. Nah, nothing like that. Walmart set up a warehouse, a huge warehouse, with plastic tables and chairs. Walmart executive will sit there, plastic table and chairs, with a supplier, prestigious supplier from all other countries. They'll sit there in a humble warehouse. Now, at that time, you better get ready to talk with them about price. They're going to demand very, very low price. So you see, that's exactly the huge power of Walmart, the channel captain, the dominant player in the supply chain can play. And you just have to be there, offer your price very low, at good quality, so they can, sell those products under their slogan, everyday low price. Everyday low price, EDLP. Okay. So that power, different power in the supply chain. Let's back to the slide. Legitimate power. That's position in the supply chain give you a legitimate power. Okay. Reward power is your ability to help other parties to reach their goals. Coercive power. You can take positive outcomes away or impose negative outcomes upon members. I'm not saying Walmart does that, and it could do that, right? It has the ability to do that. Information, that's knowledge of sales, trends, research, and that's what the Walmart has. And they have the buyers. They know the trend. They know what is moving. Yeah, what is hot, what is not so hot. They have tons of research on consumers, everything, and market, and that is power. Information is power. Reference power, liking to work with others. Liking. So the power play in supply chain. Okay? There are some trends in supply chain strategy or supply chain management, technological improvements, like using RFID, radio frequency ID, put a little thing on your product, package, right? You can track inventory, spoilage, and theft. Track where your product is going. And use GPS monitoring, AI, blockchains on the movement of your good. Okay? Risk and benefits of supply chain functions. You can outsource non-core activities, contract manufacturing, okay? And expecting and planning of disruptions in new product disruptions. Okay? Have contingency and crisis plans, in case there's a disruption in the supply chain. Remember a few years ago, I think around the pandemic, there was a disruption in the supply chain of chips, computer chips, semiconductors. It's because of a fire in a factory in South Korea, I believe, South Korea or Taiwan. There's a fire in a chip factory, and because of the one fire in one factory, it actually interrupted the global supply chain of chips, and lots of the car makers, Japanese, American car makers, stopped producing cars. Just cars, trucks, just sit there on the assembly line, cannot get out. Why? Because they need one chip. One simple, stupid chip. It's not very important, but it's a necessary chip. The supply is gone, it's dead. So that's how vulnerable the global manufacturing base is, on those under those critical, crisis moment. Okay? Could that happen again? Oh, you bet. Yeah, you bet. Now let's talk about integrated marketing communications, IMC. Okay, integrated marketing. IMC stands for integrated marketing communications. Okay, it's a strategic and coordinated use of promotion to create one consistent message across multiple channels to maximize persuasive impact. One message, multiple channels. That's why it's called integrated, right? Integrated communications. All the channels, all the messages, one message, one consistent message, right? Because it provides a 360-degree view that considers all contact points with customer, all contact points. So personal selling through public relations, publicity, events, sponsorship, sales promotions, direct marketing, you name it, all contact points. One message, right? Is consistent and uniform messaging across all platforms, online, offline, everywhere. Okay, that's integrated marketing communications. Okay, in marketing communications or in advertising, or in persuasive messaging, we want to get people's attention. We want them to understand your message. We want to be interested in your product. We want them to have a desire to try or to purchase your product. Eventually, we want them to take actions. Right? That's what this AIDA model is about. Okay, AIDA model or AIDA model. Okay, in your test, AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action. So your marketing communication should aim to get people's attention, so they pay attention to your message. And then they want to get them to be interested in your message, right? Once they're interested in your message, understood your message, they're persuaded, have a desire to see or buy or try your product. Okay, that's the desire stage. And then finally, the desire is strong enough, they're going to take action. Either try it, purchase it, purchase it, and continue to purchase your product. This attention, interest, desire, and action model, the IDA model, okay, in integrated marketing communications. Okay. Promotions, goals in promotions. Right? There are in part of EIMC, integrated marketing communication, there is a promotion strategy, more promotional activities. The goal of promotion, the two ways for you to do promotion. Okay. Promotion, there is a pull strategy versus push strategy. Pull versus push. Okay. What's a pull strategy? You market to final customers and they request your products. They request it, they pull it through the channels. So the channel members, wholesalers, retailers will come to you to ask for your product. Okay? Advertising, PR, and consumer sales promotions are all doing the same. They advertise to the customers, consumers, and they can come to the store, go to the stores, go to the website to pull. Yeah, to pull through the channels, they ask for that. That's a pull strategy. You advertise to consumers. Push strategy, you don't see much of advertising in push strategy at work. Right? Push strategy, basically you push the supply chain. It's a supply chain focus on wholesalers and retailers to incentivize the spending and extra time and funds on selling. You use a personal selling and trade sales promotion to push your product through the channel. That's why it's called the push strategy. Through the channel, then eventually to the consumers. Okay, pull versus push. Make sure you understand that. Okay. Advertising, another big important part of IMC. Advertising. What is advertising? It's paid, non-personal communication transmitted through media. Okay, it's paid. Somebody is paying for that. Non-personal meaning there's not a live person there standing there like in personal selling, talking to you. Okay, it's a communication. It's a persuasive communication. It's transmitted using media, mass media. What kind of mass media outlet we have? Television, radio, magazine, newspapers, direct mail, outdoor, online ads, mobile devices. That's advertising, right? There are challenges in advertising nowadays. Okay, the initial expense can be high. It's difficult to know how much or to invest in advertising. The effectiveness of ads, right, is difficult to measure. The ROI is difficult to measure. Okay? And you need to make sure your message is accurate and honest. Yeah, that's advertising. PR, public relations. You can use a press release, feature articles, content, exclusive interviews, white papers, press conference, webinar, event sponsorship, employee relations, etc., to carry out your PR work in the hope of getting your message, your product information out to the public. Okay? Quiz, pop quiz. Okay? True or false? The coordinated use of heavy in advertising, public relations, and consumer sales promotion has the effect of pushing products through the supply chain, hence its name. True or false? Coordinated use of heavy advertising, public relations, consumer sales promotion has the effect of pushing the product through the supply chain, therefore has its name. Pause for a minute or two, think through, come up with your answer. Now you can hit resume, play again, and find the answer. Right? True or false? It is false. Okay, that's not what the pull strategy is about. Okay, that's the okay. Personal selling is not one. Personal selling, what's a personal selling? Is a paid personal communication that attempts to inform customers about products. Okay, it basically use a live salesperson, professional sellers, professional salesperson, to persuade them to purchase those products, whether it's a B2B product or B2C product. It's a very customized personal solutions, but the cost is high. Cost to recruit, to train salespeople is very high. Okay, good salesperson is hard to find and high. Right, the cost of contact per contact is very high, expensive. Okay? The personal selling. There's some changes, new developing personal selling. AI and other technology have impacted the assessments of data to impact customer acquisition and retention. There are softwares such as Salesforce has improved customer relationship management or CRM and lead generation. So, use of virtual meetings has improved and extended the prospect customer contact. So companies are now, the business are now using professional salesperson as much. So that's a new trend. Okay. Importance of a sales function. Okay, you still need salesperson. You still need to engage in professional selling. Sales function is still very important. It's still major revenue generation of the company. Yeah, it can help build relationship and repeat businesses. Yeah. It's listening or live market research. Yeah. Okay. The listening or live market research need. Yeah. You know what is going on, right? You learn how new competitors are and feel their reactions. Yeah, learn of new competitors. Salesperson are the one to know who are competing with us, with you, okay? And feel the reactions to your product offerings. Salespersons salespeople are the face of the firm. Yeah, they represent the reputation of the firm. They bring in, they directly affects customer satisfaction. Okay? They play a boundary spanning role, for the company. The risk and reward involved in their functions. Okay? Sales management. Now we talk about the professional sales and selling person, sales process salesperson, and what about as sales managers? What's the role of sales managers? Okay, as sales manager or sales management, you develop sales force, set their objectives, determine the size of sales force, recruit and train your salespeople, enabling salespeople by operations, right? And controlling and evaluating your sales force. That's the basic activities of sales management. Sales force compensation. How do you compensate your sales force? Right? The three basic ways most often used. One is straight salary. Right? This is often used on new salesperson or new territory. New salesperson. There's intense pre and post sales services involved. Okay? And it's easy, provides security, but it does not incentivize because it's salary based. Okay? And the next one is a straight commission. Commission, percentage of sales. It can be used. It's used with aggressive selling. When aggressive selling is required, you can use commission to stimulate, to incentivize people. Some selling functions are outsourced, and the maximum incentive is in place, but it's probably less in security. because there's no guarantee of how much it can make. So, but many companies, use the combination of both straight salary and straight commission. Use salary plus commission. It's called a blended approach. Basically, you have a salary, but it's not the full salary. It's a base salary, and then you have commission on top, right? When your territories have similar sales potential, you want to incentives and control, you can use this approach. Okay? The sales force compensation. Changes in selling and sales, as I said, the sales force have shrunk as a result of IT, mobile technology, and virtual connectivity. Okay? Integrating data sources with customer relationship management, like the software sales force. Okay? That's a challenge, changes in selling and sales. Okay? And customers, competitors, and product information are all integrated in those CRM software. Yeah? So making the salesperson job, challenged or in critical condition. Okay? Sales promotion. Next is sales promotion. Because with sales promotion, basically the effort you engage to get immediate sales. Activities that create buyer incentives to purchase product or that add value. Okay? That's sales promotion. The goal is to induce product trial and purchase. Yeah, immediately, basically. Right? Sales promotion can be targeted to consumers, to channel members, channel intermediaries, and or to sales force. Okay? Sales promotion. Okay? There are sales promotions geared towards consumers, right? And can be initiated by any member of the supply chain, but most often you initiate by manufacturers or retailers. Right? Manufacturers and retailers, not the middle, not like wholesalers or distributors or the other middlemen. Right? It represents an effective way to introduce new products, or promote established brands. Use consumer information. What kind of activities can be used in consumer sales promotion? You can use coupons. We're familiar with coupons, samples, okay, point of purchase reduction, contests, direct mail, rebates, loyalty programs, premiums, and sweepstakes. These are all consumer-oriented sales promotions. Okay, and there is a business trade sales promotion that is undertaken to push products through the channel by increasing sales and encouraging increased effort among channel partners, using many of the same promotional methods that are targeted towards consumers, right? But with a twist and somewhat different. It could involve a number of unique methods in just B2B sales promotion or trade sales promotion. It's a push, remember the push strategy, like trade allowances, right? Training assistance, help to train the salesperson, selling incentives on selling certain things, free merchandise, right? And cooperative advertising. Basically, the manufacturer and the channel members or wholesalers, retailers will pay money together to advertise certain things, yeah? to highlight both the retail store and the product, the brand, okay? The co-op advertising. Okay, this is for business sales promotion. Okay, in summary, now the lesson has ended. You should have learned to understand and explain the key issues in challenges in product strategy, right? Key issues in pricing strategy, key issues in supply chain management, supply chain issues, right? The components of integrated marketing communication, the IMC strategy, right? Also strategic implementation and personal selling and sales management, okay? That's all I have for this chapter, for this lecture. And thank you very much. I'll talk to you. See you next time. Thank you and goodbye.